I'm going to take you off a little bit. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to Talk Table. And today we are going to talk about your health. Your health. Your health is your wealth. That's what I always say. So today we have a special guest. He's a functional medicine practitioner, Dr. Seth Robinson, and he's going to talk to you about how you can be your own doctor, right? How you can use natural medicine to heal yourself. Let's start the show.
All right, so Yep.
All right, hi again, everybody. Again, we are here with Dr. Seth Robinson, and I've always been fascinated with natural foods, natural causes, natural remedies to heal ourselves. And so I invited him on here today to talk about just that, and he's going to lead us all into how we can just do that. Dr. Robinson.
Sure. Thank you so much, Jerry, for inviting me to the show. So I started my career as a chiropractor about 8 years ago, and for a while I was doing well. I was getting people better, but I quickly realized that what plagues many people, even people who are in pain or people who were presenting to me with low back pain or what have you, headaches, many times the root cause wasn't mechanical. And so the muscle work that I would do, the adjustments that I would perform, they would offer temporary relief of symptoms, but they weren't really addressing the root cause of that person's pain and discomfort. And through hours and hours of research, I realized that not only are many lifestyle diseases this way, but in terms of pain responses and any type of symptom, many times the root cause is inflammation. And inflammation is caused by so many different things, including toxins, nutrient deficiencies, things we're exposed to on a day-to-day basis. And when we can bring the body into a more non-inflamed state, many of the symptoms that we experience from day to day that are quite common just simply go away. And an adjustment and a massage is not really going to get to the root cause of that. It really starts with diet. It starts with exercise. It starts with sleep, fresh air, sunshine. These are things that are really missing in our lifestyle, especially in the United States today. And so it started me on a journey to figuring out how I could help patients on a deeper level. And, a few years later, I had a clinic in Georgia that specialized in helping people to change their lifestyle. So we helped change a person's lifestyle before we even focused on symptoms, to figure out which symptoms were more simple in terms of, okay, let's get the person out of an inflamed state and then see what happens with the headaches and then see what happens with the back pain. And more often than not, no additional treatment was necessary, no adjustments, no muscle work. The pain would just go away.
Wow. So you mentioned pain. What does the body with pain? Why do we have pain?
Okay. Pain is a blessing. Pain is a blessing. Pain is a mechanism that's been designed to let us know when something's going wrong. And more often than not, pain is one of the last signs or symptoms that lets us know that something is wrong. And so once you start feeling pain, you've actually been in a state of dis-ease for quite a while in many cases, unless the pain, of course, is due to trauma. And so pain is a blessing. Pain is there, like I said, it lets you know, hey, something is wrong, something needs to change, something needs to be addressed. And it surprises me every day how simple some of this stuff is. But I would say 9 times out of 10, if we go and correct the lifestyle and just start making lifestyle change, you don't have to have your life perfect tomorrow. But once you start down that road, your body lets you know that you're starting down the correct path, and those aches and pains just slowly just ease away. And so pain is a blessing. It's the same way depression, for instance, is a blessing. Depression is your body's way of letting you know, hey, something is wrong.
So I know there's pain, that there's a lot, and there's like mild pain. Are we doing ourselves a disservice when we just like pop pills when we're in pain, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. So popping a pill is kind of like, your body you're feeling pain, and it's similar to a house being on fire. Mm-hmm. And the pain is kind of like the siren, the fire alarm. And what you do when you pop a pill is you simply turn off the fire alarm, but in many cases you aren't actually addressing the actual fire. And so what happens is we continually turn off the fire alarm over and over again. All the while, the fire is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yes, I absolutely do believe that you're doing a disservice to yourself if you rely on medication. Now, certain medications have a place, and it's to stop and prevent a crisis, to stop an emergency. But they are not designed for long-term use. Even nutritional supplements, right? The idea is to get your body to a place where it's doing its job and maintaining itself. And so even in my practice, nutritional supplements, most people, I say 30 days. In 30 days, I'm going to help you change your lifestyle so that this supplement, we can start weaning you off in 30 days. The longest anyone's on a supplement in my office is 90 days.
An analogy I can think of is the check engine light in your car, right? Mm-hmm. We hit the light all the time, but we ignore it. Like, okay, I don't know why that is on there, but I'll just keep driving. And then all of a sudden, the car breaks down.
That's right.
Okay? So that's crazy.
Perfect.
So what do you suggest? Because when you feel pain,
yep,
what's the next step?
Okay, so pain, the majority of excluding trauma, like falling down, getting cut, whatever. Pain is the result, almost 99% of the time, of inflammation. So the basic way, the basic outline for ridding your body of inflammation, the best thing to do, the first thing you should do, is cut down on things that are extremely inflammatory. So we're talking about sugar, we're talking about gluten, we're talking about processed and fried foods, for instance, potato chips, fried chicken. Those are some of the things that easily, you can notice a difference in a matter of days in your level of pain simply by minimalizing, or better yet, getting rid of those foods. Excuse me. I don't promote drastic change immediately because it's not sustainable. And so what I do is I like to tell people, make it systematic. Say, okay, first I'm just going to limit it. I'm just going to use it as a treat, or whatever, and then eventually work your way down to getting rid of those things in your diet or limiting them to an extreme situation. The second thing you want to do is water. Simply water. Water is very undervalued, but if you go 2 or 3 days without it, you'll know immediately, how valuable it is to our body in terms of managing inflammation. One of the other things that you can do to minimize inflammation is exercise, and it's nothing crazy. You don't need a gym membership or anything like that. Simply walking in the evening or walking in midday can help control inflammation. Now, there are many supplements and herbs that can do the same thing. One of the most powerful anti-inflammatory substances out there in the natural world is turmeric, curcumin. Those are little things that you can add to your supplementation or your diet that's going to vastly limit inflammation in your body. So to answer your question, the first thing you want to do is kind of rule out a mechanical issue. If I'm having pain in my hip, do I have arthritis? Because then it's a whole different approach. Or do I have bursitis? That's a whole different approach. It's still inflammatory in nature, so those things will still help, but there may be other things that need to be done immediately, right? Once you rule that out, the next thing to do is systematically start removing removing inflammatory agents from your life and introducing anti-inflammatory things into your life.
Wow. You are killing me right now, because one of my favorite things is bread. Right? It used to be sugar.
Yeah.
I managed to wean myself off of that, but
Sure.
bread is a problem.
Sure.
Right? What am I doing to myself when I eat bread?
Okay. So, bread, a lot of people have a hard time with this in general, and it's because, especially people who are of a certain age, and it's because wheat isn't what it used to be. And so bread isn't what it used to be. And there's a bunch of different reasons, but the basic reason is genetically modified at this point. And so the gluten is it's an extreme irritant to our system. Now, a lot of people say, okay, this person is gluten intolerant, right? This person has an extreme allergy, and then most people can handle gluten. That's not the truth. It's actually inflammatory to everyone. And even the people who say, oh, gluten doesn't bother me, the truth of the matter is it does bother you. It's just symptomatic, right? In the short term, so you can eat it and say, oh, I don't feel anything. But over time, that inflammatory process happening every day for some people at every meal, it builds up over time. And to be truthful, it's just tearing down your entire system. It starts in the gut. Everything starts in the gut. Okay, immunity starts in the gut. So if you have fire in the gut, you have a impaired immune system. If you have fire in the gut, you have fire in the brain. More and more research is coming out supporting the fact. So this is not a notion. This isn't something natural doctors are just throwing out there. This is hardcore research, and it's linking gut health and inflammation in the gut to inflammation in the brain. So we're talking about Parkinson's, we're talking about dementia, and we're talking about MS. Gluten is literally triggering the onset of these issues later on in life. Fire in the guts is fire in the brain, also fire in the skin. So common skin issues like acne, dry skin, these things are a result of your gut just simply being destroyed. We're talking about gut flora, your ability to digest and take up nutrients from what you eat. All these things are affected by inflammation, and gluten combined with dairy and sugar, the most inflammatory things that we can introduce into our bodies.
So things like sugar and gluten and all that, they will prevent nutrients go into the gut and thus into our bodies.
Correct. Absolutely. One other thing I'd like to add is that many people don't realize is that if you're over the age of 25 in the United States and you eat a standard American diet, your colon is lined with old impacted fecal matter. And this is also a result of gluten, meat, and dairy, things that are just incredibly difficult for our bodies to digest and also inflammatory. And our body has a difficult time eliminating that, and it sticks to the side of our colon. And also, as the food passes through your your intestines, even good food, your body has a difficult time extrapolating nutrients from that food. And so this is the reason why sometimes you can eat and 5 minutes later you're still hungry. So you're essentially still starving.
Wow.
Isn't
What are
it?
some alternatives we can use instead of all these bad foods?
Sure. So in terms of let's talk sugar. In terms of sweeteners, 100% pure maple syrup is a pretty good sweetener. It typically doesn't spike your blood sugar in the same way that sugar does. So two things with sugar. One is it's inflammatory. The second thing is that it spikes your blood sugar and causes problems in terms of insulin, right? Your kidneys, your pancreas over time, it wears it out because it's trying to keep up and it can't because we eat so much sugar. And we're looking at prediabetes and diabetes. And maple syrup, stevia, things that are out there, they aren't as inflammatory and they don't spike your blood sugar like sugar does. In terms of bread, there are gluten-free options. Now, I don't like to candy coat anything. I'm going to tell you the truth. It takes some getting used to. Gluten-free bread is.
I tried it. Hardy. I hate it.
It's hardy. Now what is coming out now are like flatbread options. Those are much easier. It's an easier transition because it's naturally more hardy. The bread that's gluten-free is naturally more hardy, but when it's sliced very thin or it's prepared like flatbread, it's actually very good. It's the best that I've had in terms of gluten-free experience. What I would say is many times you can go the keto way and kind of wrap whatever you're eating in like maybe a lettuce leaf or a spinach leaf. I'm sorry, spinach, kale leaf, collard leaf, those things. I'm a fan of, like, for instance, meat substitutes. It's like, okay, I understand their place, but from my mindset and my experience dealing with patients who make the transition, instead of eating something that you're expecting to taste like a burger, it's not going to taste like a burger, right? It tastes like veggie meat. That's what it tastes like. Right. And so if you're saying, okay, I want to make a gluten-free, a transition gluten-free to a gluten-free diet, getting things that say we're bread and expecting them to be what you've experienced in the past is not realistic. So I just tell them, hey, stay away from bread altogether. Stay away from gluten-free bread, stay away from bread, and then slowly introduce gluten-free bread over time, and it's an easier transition.
Yeah, I'm a fan of stevia. It's good. At least I think so. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's right.
I also use Ezekiel bread from time to time. Is that good or?
Ezekiel bread is excellent. I use Ezekiel bread. It's very hearty. It takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. I recommend that people toast it. It's much better toasted, in my experience.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Which tells me about vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How I don't know what I want to say. What are the must-have fruits and vegetables for our health?
Sure. So anything, everything, I should say, should be in moderation, especially when it comes to fruits and the way that they're prepared. Now, any fruit and vegetable in its natural state is good. So when we're talking about fruits and vegetables, what we're not talking about is orange juice or apple juice or grape juice. These things are fine, right? But what happens is we've taken the fiber away and we just have the pure sugar, and so it's going to spike your blood sugar. So the first thing we want to do is focus on all the fruits and vegetables are good to eat in their natural state. The second thing we want to talk about now in the fruit world, because I could talk about this forever. So what I'll say is what's underused in the fruit world is berries. Berries are just packed with antioxidants, vitamin C, many other vitamins, and they have a lot of fiber. And so what you do is you get the energy, and then the fiber causes that the sugars that's within the fruit to slowly trickle throughout the day. So if you include berries in your breakfast, including dry fruit, so even dry fruit, dry berries, for instance, dry apricot, things like that, they have plenty of fiber. They're very sweet. They have plenty of sugar, but the fiber allows that sugar to kind of trickle throughout the day. So it's perfect in terms of getting vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals, and it helps control your blood sugar. It actually controls your blood sugar as opposed to causing a spike in blood sugar. So I would say berries and dried fruit, figs, raisins, dates, things of that nature. Those are just fantastic to eat in the fruit world. Watermelon is also another fruit that's fantastic, excellent for kidneys, for your kidney and kidney health. In the vegetable world, right, I would say, especially at this point in history, I would say cruciferous vegetables are a must-have. Broccoli, cauliflower, bok choy, kale, cabbage, things of that nature. Unless you have IBS or something like that, which they're difficult to digest for a person like that. But if your gut is functioning, those things are some of the best things you can eat, mainly because they help to expel phyto and xenoestrogens from our bodies. Phytoestrogens and xenoestrogens behave as estrogens in our body and cause us to hold on to midsection fat. And so we get those phytoestrogens through cleaning supplies, pesticides, makeup, all kinds of things, plastics. And cruciferous vegetables actually help expel and push out those estrogens, and it can really, especially for women, can really balance their hormones and just get rid of many symptoms. And so I would say in the vegetable world, cruciferous vegetables, and I would say in the fruit world, must-haves, berries, and dried fruit.
We actually have a question from one of our viewers. Amanda asks, why can't we eat fruits and vegetables together?
Oh, good question. Excellent question. Some fruits and vegetables eaten together, while you still get all the nutrients and all that kind of thing, it's usually about gas. That's usually the only reason. They don't digest well together, and so gas can be a problem. And the combinations usually involve like a green leaf and like fruits like apples, several other fruits. There are many, if you Google it, there are websites that kind of give you an idea of what fruits and vegetables do go together. But generally speaking, it's not that you can't eat them. It's just that there's a byproduct that is gas. Not pleasant.
Oh, well. It's a pandemic. We have to stay home anyway. So. That's awesome, because I've heard that ever since a child. You don't eat fruits and vegetables together, but no one ever said like why.
Why exactly?
Bad.
Right.
Oh. So we have let's say we have grape juice, just the juice, but some people use fiber. There's some fiber that you buy.
Sure.
You add that to the juice, or you're just fooling it.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. You can do that. You can definitely do that. I don't see a problem with that. I would definitely recommend the whole fruit. But for instance, if that was a concern, you say, hey, I want some grape juice. I think a better option would be to get fiber by way of an oat. So, for instance, if you wanted orange juice or grape juice in the morning, a bowl of porridge of any type, oatmeal or any type of bulgur wheat, whatever you're going to eat in terms of a porridge, that'd be an excellent combination. Probably better than a Metamucil or something like that. However, good idea. Yeah.
Great. All right. For those who are just joining us, we're here with Dr. Seth Robinson. We're talking about natural health, how to be your own doctor, how to recognize there's something wrong with you. And we spoke about pain is your friend. It tells you that something is wrong. I need to do something about it. We spoke about drinking plenty of water. What else? What else did we talk about?
Oh yeah, we talked about getting fruits and vegetables, the fruits and vegetables that are must-haves in our diet. We talked about natural ways of controlling pain. Yeah, definitely. We hit on all of that.
All right, so we want to talk about our immune system.
Okay.
Because obviously we're going through a pandemic right now. I'm not necessarily talking about a cure for the coronavirus. I'm talking about protecting ourselves from that and anything else.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay, so the immune system. Excuse me. The immune system starts and ends in the gut. We have to restore and maintain a healthy gut. So the first thing we have to do is, like I said before, the first place I usually start with is water, and then we start with fiber. Same situation. Get that fiber from cruciferous fruit, cruciferous vegetables, oats, things like that that physically go through and brush the lining of your colon. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. These things have natural probiotics and prebiotics in them. They help restore gut flora. If the gut is healthy, that's where immunity starts. Then we want to talk about getting your vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D. These are vital in terms of maintaining a healthy immune system. Healthy immune system also starts with cleanliness, hygiene. I can't tell you for doctor confidentiality reasons how many of my patients just have poor personal hygiene. So, for instance, bed sheets, bed linens. You want to change those every few days. It seems very commonsensical, but for many people, they just didn't grow up that way, never learned that. Personal hygiene. The second thing you want to do is make sure you're getting plenty of sunshine, plenty of fresh air. Sleep. I can't tell you, sleep is vital to an immune system. Well, I would say this to kind of sum it all up, because once again, I can go off on a tangent really easily. I would say in terms of, and what I can say, because I try to stick to things that have minimal risk, because some of the things that I could recommend, there will be some risk to certain populations. So I want to kind of stay in things that are easy to do and offer minimal risk. Okay. So the first thing I would say is get water, sunshine, fresh air. The second thing you want to focus on is sleep and stress management, good stress management, right? And then making sure that we are keeping the inflammation down. We just talked about that a few minutes ago. Inflammation is the enemy of the gut, and the gut is 90% of your immune system. And so limiting sugar, limiting high fructose corn syrup, limiting or getting rid of alcohol, limiting gluten, limiting dairy. These things, you can make small changes in those areas and see, exponential benefit in terms of immunity.
Wow. So one thing I think is related is your health and also mental health.
Sure.
What you eat and depression.
That's right.
So talk to us about how we can. We're going through a horrible time right now. People don't get jobs. People are dying.
That's right.
And we become, we can't go with our friends. We can do a little bit now, but still.
Sure.
How do we like cope with this stuff through our health?
Sure. So what people are starting to realize more and more as we go on is that every aspect of your life is interrelated to all the other aspects. So your spiritual life, your mental self, physical, emotional, all these things are interrelated, and one can affect the other just as much as any other can affect the other. And so Uh, Many times we try to remedy an emotional issue with an emotional solution, but every part of our being is interdependent. There's sometimes back door solutions. So, for instance, anxiety and depression. Now, we all understand that stress. We start in terms of getting to depression. We start with unmanaged stress or poorly managed stress that turns into anxiety, and anxiety develops into depression and adrenal fatigue. So, what we can do is we can work it backwards, right? We can stimulate and support the adrenals, right? We can support the gut because once again, research is coming out and is linking gut health to depression and anxiety. We can support the gut, right? And then a small thing that we can do, I do this for my patients, or I help my patients through this process. You take a piece of paper, you write down all of your stressors, all the ones that you can think of, anything that's happened, right? You write down those things on a piece of paper. Problems do not have to be resolved in order for you to feel that weight lifted off of you. You can simply have a plan to resolve. What action can I take today toward a resolution of this problem, this problem, this problem? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be something very simple. If you do those three things, you will find that unless you're in a very deep depression, that you will feel those things kind of lighten up. The other thing is sunlight. So I would say this, in terms of depression, this is what you add cold showers in the morning. It seems outrageous, but this is how a cold shower works. It's 2 or 3 minute cold shower. You can start with a warm shower and gradually get it cold, or you can just turn it cold and jump in. The goal is 3 minutes. What it does is it overwhelms the brain with electrical impulses, right? And what it does is it snaps you into the present, right? So our bodies are hardwired to recognize risk and danger. And when you shock the body with cold water on the outside, not on the inside, on the outside, it snaps your body into the present because it's saying, okay, if this water keeps getting cold, we're in trouble. We need to move. And so it's very difficult to think about your problems and what's going on at work and what you're going to have to do for the day when cold water is beating on you for 3 minutes. And it's a good way to start the day. It becomes stimulating. So first it's overwhelming neurologically, and then becomes stimulating. So I would add cold showers in the morning. I would make a list of all your stressors and intentionally make an effort toward resolution every day for at least one of those stresses on the list, and support the gut with anti-inflammatory foods, water, and sunlight. Oh, also, many people use this for seasonal depression, but the UV lamps, phenomenal.
Oh.
Phenomenal. UV lamps, phenomenal because it increases endorphins. It behaves very much like sunlight. You sit under that UV lamp for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and fantastic.
Wow, I never knew that. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to mention 3 types of foods, and you can tell me what they're like good for.
Okay.
Like ginger.
Ginger. So ginger is good for many things. It's anti-inflammatory in nature. It's very soothing for the gut. So it comes back to the gut every time for me personally. It's kind of where I like to home in on. Excellent for the gut. It soothes the gut. It helps the gut rest and heal. And so it's just fantastic for immunity, for strong gut health, for mood, definitely. And the flavor's fantastic.
And let's go with garlic.
Garlic. Yeah. So garlic is natural antibiotic, antibacterial properties. It's also anti-inflammatory in nature. Very good for viruses. That's something you definitely want to add to your diet now during COVID. Same thing with ginger, really. Garlic is fantastic. I would say anti-inflammatory properties, antiviral, bacterial properties. Yeah.
Okay. What about kale? I heard that's really good too.
Fantastic. Kale is in terms of the vegetable world, the green leafy vegetable world is near the top in terms of nutritional density. Um, it's just a fantastic source of vitamins, vitamin C, uh, minerals. It's cruciferous, so once again, it helps your body cleanse naturally from toxins that we get through makeups, pesticides in our food, whatever, what have you. So it's very good in terms of just cleansing and vitamin density, nutritional density. Yeah.
And well, this is not kale, but spinach. When I go to a Subway,
Yep.
you can put all the fruits and all that. I usually tell them hold the lettuce, but put spinach on top because I think it's more nutritional.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Watercress and all that kind of stuff is good texture, but it's mostly water and it's
Right.
very low in nutrition. Yeah, definitely.
All right. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about toxins. I want to talk about, should we do a colon cleanse or liver cleanse or what should we do? All right,
Awesome.
We'll be right back.
Doctor, I need help quickly. I'm getting shorter and shorter. Just wait there and be a little patient.
Doctor, pocket money. Well, take this medicine and we'll see if there's any change in the body.
Doctor, I'm not to drink food. Nonsense. You can stop any time you want.
Doctor, every time I drink a cup of hot chocolate, I get a stabbing pain in the eye. Well, try taking the spoon out first. Doctor, I'm going to need a second opinion. Of course, come back tomorrow.
Doctor, everyone thinks I'm a liar. I find that very funny.
Doctor, a strawberry stuck in my ear. We've got some glue for that. That is good.
Doctor, I'm struggling to sleep. Well, try sleeping on the edge of the mattress. You'll soon drop off.
Okay, so we are back. So I just put some jokes in there because laughter could also be a good medicine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how funny they were, but I think they were kind of cool. That could also help you relieve stress. So we're here with Dr. Seth Robinson, and we are talking about natural health. And now we want to talk about toxins and how to get rid of toxins. How do we do that?
Okay, so internally, our number one organ, the largest internal organ that we have, the liver, is responsible for removing toxins from our bodies. Now, if you live the average American lifestyle, your liver has been overwhelmed with toxins. So we're talking about toxins that you get from the environment, toxins that you get from, like I mentioned before, makeups, pesticides, preservatives, all kinds of plastics. Your liver sometimes can't catch up. So what it does is it absorbs the toxins as it should, but it's very difficult for it to expel the toxins over time. And so what it does is it forms liver stones, gallstones, what have you, and those things clog up our livers. So the best thing that we can do in terms of that is the first thing we want to do is limit things that destroy the liver. So we're talking alcohol, we're talking high fat foods, in terms of fried food and things of that nature. And we want to start adding things now. Some of the foods that we've talked about already, berries, garlic, oatmeal, those things are fantastic for liver health. So we want to support the liver first. The second thing we want to do after we support the liver, the liver collects the toxins, pushes it out through the colon. So now we're going to talk about restoring the gut, clearing the colon. There are many natural colon cleansers out there. There's one I recommend. I'm not sure if I'll mention it. You can definitely go to my website and ask me about it, or you can ask me about it here. I'll tell you about it. It's the active ingredient is activated magnesium. So if you get a colon cleanse in the elemental magnesium, you want to see that as the active ingredient. It'll do the job. What it does is it clears old fecal matter from your intestines, from the entire intestines, not just the colon, from the entire intestines. It clears it, and it adds oxygen to your gut, which is fantastic in terms of healing and restoring the gut. So now we have a clear liver, we have a clear gut. The name of the game at this point is to just start systematically removing things that are inflammatory. It's really that simple. The last thing, once the liver is clear, once the gut is clear, that means that excess estrogen is starting to be pushed out. We want to focus on mild to moderate exercise, and more so on the weight training, weight bearing, resistance training side of it, and less cardio. And the reason for that is because muscle, as we build muscle, it actually increases our metabolism, and we burn fat at a higher rate at just going throughout our day. And the fat easily comes off once the liver and the gut are clear. So that's where you start with that, definitely.
Well, you can lose weight by cleaning your liver and your gut.
Exactly, especially weight around the midsection.
Okay, I'm going to clean my gut. So you have a program just for that, right?
Absolutely. I do have a program just for that. It involves a liver cleanse, a 6-day liver cleanse. It involves a 2-day kidney flush, a 30-day gut cleanse. And then after that, we start incorporating new lifestyle habits, including diet and weight training.
Oh. Do you, well, there are people here from all over. So do you do consultations remotely as well? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So all my consultations are remote, virtual via Zoom, Skype, phone, and the products, I have them shipped to the patient's home, and I follow the patient until they get to the end. So it's an 8-week program, but I'm available to all my patients every day, and we have weekly consultations until they get to where they want to go, whether it takes 8 weeks or 8 years. I'm currently licensed in Delaware, and I'm working on my New York and Maryland license. So I'll be licensed in New York and Maryland within the next month and a half. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. Cool. So when you work remotely, how do they set up an appointment? Through your website, or how do they do it?
That's right. So you can go to drsетhrobinson.com, and there will be a menu there in about the middle of the page. Right now, I'm advertising another program I have going on at the top of the page, but if you scroll down, you'll see where you can book a free discovery call with me. So a free discovery call is to find out what I offer. You can also schedule a full consultation. So if you know, hey, I need to change my lifestyle, I'm tired of depending on prescription medication, or I'm trying to avoid surgery, or I'm trying to avoid a health crisis and I want to do it naturally, you can schedule a full consultation. It's an hour long. We go over everything. I ask all the questions so I don't miss anything. And then what sets functional medicine apart is that we can test stool, blood, urine, hair, whatever, and we can test the level of toxins you may have in your body, and specific, like what toxin is causing it. We can test mineral deficiencies. We can test food allergies. We can test genetic disposition to disease, and we can specifically pinpoint exactly what we need to do. And the best thing about it is it saves you time and frustration. It saves you money over time because we got to the root of the problem out of the gate and we addressed it.
So definitely one size does not fit all. It depends on the person. It depends on everything.
Absolutely. So all my programs start the same way. We have to create an environment in the body that promotes and supports healing. So once again, we're going to limit inflammation. We're going to clear the gut, the liver, the kidneys. And then we start focusing on their specific symptomatology, whether it be diabetes, heart disease, an autoimmune disease like MS, what have you. We start focusing on that afterwards, because whatever we're going to introduce in terms of a remedy is going to be much more effective if the gut, liver, and kidneys are clear.
So you look at the person's lifestyle and their habits so that you can use that now to formulate a specific program. Absolutely. So spiritual, emotion, all of it. There's nothing that's off limits, because like I said before, every part of you affects every other part of you. So we start with physical and emotional. Eventually we'll move to other parts of you, your mental state, and we'll even delve into your spirituality, because it's a thing and it affects every part of you. Yeah, because it worries me when you go to a doctor who is not into natural health, and they said, okay, just take 2 of these and give me a call, right? But it takes all of you.
That's right.
Your body is so complex that this will cause that and this will have that.
That's right. I mean, even in the 1800s, 1700s, early 1900s, doctors were hands-on. They saw patients in their home. I do that. If you live in Delaware, I come to your home. I'm also a chiropractor. If you need chiropractic care, I come to your home. There's something about human touch. There's something about a doctor who actually listens to you. Mm-hmm. There's something about that promotes healing. Trust. You have to trust the person, in order to follow what they're saying. And trust is built through relationship, not through education, not through degrees, not through just simple knowledge of, hey, eat some berries and drink some. No, health starts with relationship.
Awesome. I really appreciate you coming on today. I think we've been blessed. We've been helped. Definitely want to have you back on.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
Have you back on. And again, if you need any more information on anything that we have talked about, go to drsethrobinson.com. Sign up for a free consultation. You'll be surprised. I mean, you will learn things about yourself you didn't know.
That's right. There's another, if I may, there's one more thing. If you go to my website, the first thing you'll see is a sign up for a beta course. Online is a virtual program. The beta course is going to be launching in a couple of weeks, and I will teach you how to be your own natural doctor. We'll go over basics of anatomy, physiology, and pathology, lifestyle diseases, and then we'll cover how you address those things with natural remedies, vitamins, minerals, spirituality, water, sunshine. We'll go over all of it.
I think I will sign up for that, because a lot of people minimize fruits and vegetables and vitamins and minerals, but they forget that if we didn't have any of those in our body right now, we would have been dead, right?
That's right.
But
That's
we
right.
make a big deal about, you can't fix this problem with just fruits and vegetables or vitamins, but if we didn't have any of those vitamins, we would have been dead by now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it.
So definitely take him up on his offer. Go check that course out. Go to drsethrobinson.com. Thank you again. See you soon.
Thank
This is the
you.
end of our show. Stay tuned next week around the same time, 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about your mental health in more detail. Thanks for watching. Bye.